Hey Valley View, this is the first of a few videos all dealing with the concept of anxiety. In the first video, we're going to talk about what anxiety is, and then the next few videos are all going to talk about ways to manage anxiety. So, as always, feel free to look in the description below for our additional resources, visual aids, or bibliographic information. And always, if you have any questions, feel free to call or email your counselors. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, anxiety disorders affect around 25% of teens 13 to 18 years old. About 6% of teens have said that this anxiety severely impacts their lives. You don't want to battle anxiety every day when you're worried about school and family and relationships, and we don't want you to either. So, in order to understand anxiety, we have to look at something else. We have to look at fear. All right, fear never happens in school, right?
Almost finished with the potential disasters. Worst scenario is either quicksand, spontaneous combustion, or getting called on by the teacher. So as long as none of those happen...
Okay, everybody. We have a new student in class today.
Are you kidding me? Out of the gates? This is not happening!
Riley, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
No! Pretend we can't speak English.
Don't worry, I got this.
When we are afraid of something, our body's natural reaction is to pump up our adrenaline and to prepare us for this fight or flight response. In fact, the symptoms of anxiety are very similar to what you might experience before a sports match or a performance. Uncontrollable worry, excessive nervousness, increased heart rate, upset stomach, muscular tensions, and so on. Now, anxiety is not inherently bad. It's much like pain. We do not like to feel pain, but it's our body telling us that we're doing something harmful, which actually keeps us safer in the long run. When we feel anxious, our body is telling us to be cautious and to stay alert because something is coming. So, a little bit of anxiety can be a good thing. It's only when it takes over us and becomes debilitating that anxiety is a bad thing, which is why we need to keep ourselves out of the anxiety triangle. And the anxiety triangle works like this. When we have anxiety, we avoid the scary situations that cause it. When this happens, we get a temporary relief from anxiety. This trains us to believe a huge lie, and the lie is that avoidance will lead to our happiness. We get anxious because we are afraid. We are afraid, so we avoid. When we avoid, we feel safe. Then, when the next situation comes up, we get anxious all over again. It's a terrible loop of unproductive and
Fear is the path to
paralyzing
the
emotions.
dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
To break this cycle and to manage anxiety, we need to figure out how to address situations we want to avoid. Unfortunately, there are too many things in life that we cannot avoid, so we have to figure out how to address situations head on. You will always have school tests or job evaluations or uncomfortable conversations with friends or family that need to happen. And a whole lot of these life events are going to take place between now and the end of school and then more afterwards. In the next few videos, we are going to go over specific strategies when addressing anxious situations.